Hi everyone. Bet you didn't expect to see me again. Well, I am here to do my last challenge. I have been challenged by Tracy from Travel Crochet to do the Meet the Maker challenge. And this is a challenge where you answer 10 questions about crochet and how you're affiliated with it. So I finally got a little bit of time, so I figured I would do it now before I get busy with something else and not get to it. So let's just get going. So the first question is, when did you start crocheting? Well, let's go back to the olden days. When I was a kid, I had neighbors across the street, an elderly couple, and the woman, Mrs. Petrin, she crocheted. And I would sit sometimes with her in her tiny little apartment and just watch her and watch her and watch her. And I thought it was so interesting. And what she crocheted with was crochet thread and a tiny, tiny little needle. And she made these really fancy doilies. And they were really popular back then. And she sold tons of these things. Everybody wanted these doilies. And she would put them on a board and hold up these little peaks that she had in it with toothpicks. And she would starch it so that it would stand up. Oh, they were beautiful. I wish I had some of them, just for old time's sake, because that was quite interesting back then. Of course, that type of crochet died out, and Mrs. Petrin passed away, but that always stuck in my mind. That always stuck in my mind. So fast forward about 10 years, when I was about 20 years old, that's me at 20, I was living with my father and my brother, and he was dating this lady who I liked very much. I thought she was a very, very nice lady. And she would come to the house, and sometimes she would sit there and crochet, and I would do the same thing. I would sit there and watch her. Now, Mrs. Petrin never offered to teach me how to crochet. First of all, there was a little bit of a language barrier because she spoke mostly French. And I used to speak French until I was 7 years old, and my parents stuck me in a public school, and I was no longer in a French school. And through the years, I lost my French. I can barely speak or understand it now. But anyhow, this lady, I don't remember her name, but she asked me if I wanted to learn. And I said, I'd love to learn how to do this. I'd love it. So we would sit there at the kitchen table for, hours it seemed. And we would start with a chain and then with a single crochet. And I would repeat and repeat and repeat. And eventually she got me to make a granny square. And I think a lot of us start out that way. I think a lot of us do. And I loved it. And I've never stopped since. So that's 53 years now. And that's it. That's how I started. I wish I remembered her name to give her credit, but she is the reason I am still crocheting these days. So question number 2 is, what's your favorite thing to crochet? That's easy. Baby blankets. I love making baby blankets. I must have made at least 100 of them since I started making them. All I would need to hear is somebody was expecting a baby, and boom, I would be making a blanket for them. Absolutely love, to this day, making baby blankets. The last one I made was 2 years ago. My daughter-in-law asked me to make one for her brother and his wife because they were expecting their first baby. And I loved it. Oh, it was so much fun to make one again because it had been so long. Not too many babies going around in my family or my neighborhood right now, so haven't made any in 2 years. But for sure, that is my favorite thing to make. Number 3. If you could only use one yarn for the rest of your life, what would it be? That's a really hard question because I use so many different types of yarn. But I would have to go back to making baby blankets. So it would be acrylic. It would be acrylic yarn. All different size acrylic yarns I've used, but mostly I would use a sport weight yarn when I made baby blankets. I don't like baby yarn. It's a little bit too thin, but a sport weight is just perfect. I think that's a 3 weight yarn. And now I want to go make a baby blanket. Let's talk about baby blankets. But yes, of course I enjoy using the plush yarns for all of my plushies and everything, but my true love lies in blanket making. Number 4, what is the weirdest thing you've ever made? Weird thing I've made. Nothing. Sorry. I wish I could come up with something grand for you that I made that was really weird. Never did. I never did make anything really weird. No, up until I started doing plushies a couple of years ago, it was blankets. Just blankets. And I don't know, if you think it's weird, I crocheted my dog a blanket. And it's on the floor. It's red, white, and blue, very patriotic. And he sleeps on it every night. That's all I can think of, is that I made my dog a blanket. Oh, I know. Oh, if I can find the picture, I'll put it up. There's a seamstress in town I had gone to when I made that last baby blanket to sew labels inside the blanket. I did not want to sew on a sewing machine something crocheted, so I brought it to the seamstress, and she was very impressed with the crochet and asked me lots of questions about it. And she asked me if I would make a hat for her cat. So I came home and whipped up this little hat and brought it to her, and she loved it. And I forgot about that until just now. I hope I can find the picture. I hope I can find the picture of this. It's a hairless cat, and it's got this navy blue hat on. It was so funny. That's the weirdest thing I ever crocheted. Almost forgot about that one. Almost forgot. Number 5. I'm going to whip through these. Something you'll never crochet. Something I'll never crochet. You know, I read this question a few days ago and thought of something, and now I forgot what it was. I should have written it down. What will I never crochet? I would probably say adult clothing. I've made baby sweaters and bonnets and booties and that kind of stuff. I've never crocheted anything for adults except beanies. And I thoroughly enjoy crocheting beanies, but I've never made a sweater or a vest or whatever. Never. I have no intention to. Honestly, this is going to sound horrible, I don't really like crocheted clothes. As much as I love crochet, I don't know. It's just not one of my things. Just not one of my things. So I'd have to go with that. Adult clothing. Because I do like making things for babies. Always have. Okay, number 6. Where do you get your inspiration? Other crocheters. Other crocheters, for sure. YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, any of those sites that I look for things or just watch videos. If a video sounds interesting to me, the title sounds interesting to me, I'll watch it and probably run and get that pattern. Also crochet books. I have so many blanket books. So many blanket books. And I will read through those like crazy, you know, when I'm trying to decide on a blanket to make. I have a whip of a blanket that's been sitting beside my chair in the family room for at least 4 years now, and I haven't finished it yet. Have to do that. See, that's an adult blanket. It's not a baby blanket. I go crazy for the baby blankets. I'll whip those out in no time. But this one I was making for us, and maybe that's it. I'm making it for us. I love doing it for other people. I guess I don't get as much pleasure making it for myself. But maybe once the summer is over, maybe in January after market season, I'll finish up that blanket because it's really pretty. But I don't know, put it down one day and never went back to it. It's the only whip I have. I do not have any others. Oh, so that's it. Mostly from other crocheters. I love it, especially when they give little hints and shortcuts and things like that. I love watching stuff like that because there's always something new to learn. So thank you, crochet community. I've learned a lot from you. Alrighty, number 7 is, what is your favorite thing you've made so far this year? Oh my gosh. I should have brought it in here. But I think, oh gosh, I have so many things that I really, really enjoy and have a hard time selling. Love my dragons. Absolutely love my wishnik with the orange hair, if you remember seeing him. If I have a picture, I'll put it up. But I think my favorite thing that I've made so far this year was that 9-tailed fox. And I'm picking that one only because I was so intimidated by it that when I completed it and it came out good, I have to say I was proud of myself. I do. So I think that one gave me, I don't know, a sense of self-worth, if that's the correct way of saying it. I always doubt myself as far as my creativity goes or my making goes. Oh, when I send out an order to somebody, I'm a wreck until I hear from them that they're happy with what they ordered. So making something like him was quite incredible. It was quite incredible. So I'd have to pick him. Kumara. His name is Kumara. And I'll try to put a picture up here for you. So, number 8 is crochet plans you're excited about for the future. I don't have any plans other than making things for the fall when all the markets open and things like that. I've applied to a few markets and I think I'm going to be busy this fall. And I do look forward to that. But future plans beyond that, I don't have any. I just take it one day at a time and do what I want to do. So there's nothing specific I'm aiming for to do. Maybe a baby blanket. That's one thing I want to do. Yes, I do have a future plan. I do. See, I have to think about it. I have to say a few things and then it comes to mind. I would like to make a baby blanket for each of my 4 grandchildren. Now, they all have a blanket that I made them when they were born. But this blanket will be special and that I want them to have one to give to their first child when they get married. I don't know if I'll still be around when that happens, but I would like them to have a blanket from me to my first great grandchildren. So that's what I'd like. That's something I'd like to do for the future, is make them each a blanket that they can give to their first child. That's been on my mind a lot to do. Yay, I did have something for the future planned. Worst thing about crochet. What is my worst thing about crochet? I would have to say little things like yarn bombs all over my house. I mean, I crochet at the other end of the house, yet I'll come here into my craft room, and I have a bathroom right here in my craft room, and I'll go into that bathroom and there's yarn bombs all over the floor. I don't know how they got there. They're just traveling through my house. So it's a bit irritating. They're irritating. I don't know, maybe little things, like I said, not being able to get the yarn you need because it's not available, or yarn splitting, falling apart, little things like that. There's nothing I dislike about the act of crocheting. I love to crochet. So it's just little irritating things like that that get to me now and again. Again, not a very exciting answer, but I just love to crochet, so it doesn't... Nope. I got nothing for you. Just those little things. Yarn all over the place, and storage is a problem because I overbuy. If you saw that video that Grumpy did a while back, you know all my yarn hiding secrets. But that's it. Nothing worse about crochet. And number 10 is, what's your favorite thing about crochet? I've always enjoyed the look on people's faces when they see something I make. I love it. If I gave a blanket to someone and they were thrilled with it or really happy about it, and it shows, that makes me so happy. And even though I sell my plushies, to see people's faces at a market, or even coming into my house and seeing my plushies around the house, and they're in awe of this, that people can actually make animals out of yarn. I love that. I love that. But most of all, I love people being happy when I give them something. That's the best. That is my absolute favorite thing. Favorite. And I have a little bonus question, and it says, worst and favorite things about being a crochet content creator. Worst thing, never feel like I'm doing enough. And I know I've mentioned this in my videos, and you guys have been wonderful about it and said, just do what you do. We're going to watch you anyway. And that did make me feel better, that I'm not making 100 things a week. I just don't have time, and I crochet when I want to crochet. It's not a business. It's not a business. I've said that 100 times. It's a hobby to me. So I make what I want to make when I want to make it. If I don't feel like it, I put it down. I do something else. I come back a little while later. So I guess just feeling like I'm not doing enough for my channel. I honestly don't know what else I could do to make it better. I don't want to not be myself. You're not going to catch me with crazy hats and acting silly and doing all these silly little things. I'm 73 years old. I'm way past that in my life. Way past that. And my favorite thing about being a crochet content creator is you. You. I've made so many friends in the crochet community. I think I'd go nuts without this. I really do. Because, I have no friends here in Florida other than people I've met through crafting on YouTube. And I've only seen a couple, 3, I think. 2 from my paper community and, of course, Robin from Crochet. And that's it. I would go insane. But whenever I get on camera like this and I'm talking, I see me, but I feel I'm talking with you. Not to you, but with you. And that's the best thing for me, because I would be an awfully lonely lady if I didn't have this. And I am so grateful so many of you welcome me into your home every day, every time I put up a video and watch it and comment. And I love it. I love reading the comments and answering back and all that stuff. It's the best part of this for me. It's my entertainment. It's my social life, really, because it's very hard to make friends at my age. So that's what I would say. It's you. It's all of you. And you make me love what I do. So thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. I would go a little cuckoo not having this in my life. So that's it. I've answered all my questions. Now I'm supposed to nominate people. That's the hardest thing. Who do I pick? Well, I don't think as many people did this challenge as did the Instagram challenge that I did on Friday. So I've picked a few people, and I hope they do it because I enjoy hearing people answering questions like this and getting to know them a little better. So my first one, payback, is Robin, Knotting Hook Crochet. She nominated me for the Instagram challenge. I'm challenging you to the Meet the Maker challenge. And the second one I'm choosing is Mimi Makes Keepsakes, Marsha. I would love to hear you answer these questions, Marsha. I think it would be very interesting. Very, very interesting. And the third one is Stacy Makes. Because Stacy, along with Cozy Buckeye, started that Instagram challenge. So, retribution. I got you, Stacy. Maybe now you can do this Meet the Maker challenge. And that's it. That's all I have for you today. I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Mine was okay. It was just quiet as usual, except my son came over on Sunday and spent a few hours with us, and that was nice. And other than that, it was pretty quiet. Pretty quiet. And that's okay. That's okay. And I got nothing done. Nothing. I don't know. Oh, gosh. So have a great rest of your week. I will try to make a few things so I can be back on Wednesday. And until then, keep crocheting. Bye.